Welcome back from spring break, students. I hope you had a restful, as restful as possible, given all the conditions we're living through, but as restful a spring break as possible, given what's been happening. So we're back in school. I'll start our first update of this half of the semester with an article that was published in the LA Times this past Sunday. It's still available for free, by the way. Amid a crisis, students want answers, and it has a lot of information about what's happening at the state level and at the city level when it comes to school. As far as our class, what are our answers? Based off of the last poll, everyone seemed to be of the opinion, or I guess just about everybody seemed to be of the opinion that we should extend the deadline for the nonfiction independent reading project. I want to go over this, what's due this week, just to make sure that everybody is on the same page with what's due. So if you go to the Nonfiction Independent Reading Project and click on Nonfiction Independent Reading Text Selection, click on this and you will get the instructions once again for the project. In case any of you are wondering what it is that you're doing for your book, whichever one that you selected and read and studied and now have become a master in, I'm asking for you to write 4 paragraphs. Paragraph 1 is a rhetorical précis. Remember, build a house. 4 sentences. What is the author claiming in the text? How is it that the author defends this claim? What is the purpose of making this claim? And what audience is this geared towards? That's paragraph 1. Paragraph 2 is a little bit more about how the author uses rhetoric. Remember, ethos, logos, pathos. Ethos, the author's credibility or the credibility of the sources that the author cites. Logos, the logic, whether there are numbers, percentages, rates, ratios. One of the things that we're seeing a lot of, if you're watching the news coverage of this crisis, is they constantly show numbers on maps, percentages of populations that are being treated for the coronavirus, the numbers of people who are recovering, the number of people, sadly, the mortality rate that are passing away from this. You're seeing a lot of that being used to establish what it is that we should do. When they show you the graphs and they say we have to flatten the curve, that's an example of them using logos, logic. Or does your book rely upon pathos, which is the author's attempt to persuade you by appealing to emotion? And remember, there are 4 emotions. You're correct. Sad, mad, glad, afraid. So are any of these being used, or is there a combination of those emotions? Or is there even a combination of ethos, logos, and pathos that are being used by the author to persuade the reader about the significance of the problems and solutions? So you want to write a second paragraph that touches on these. You probably want to include some quotes to defend your points here. Then paragraph 3. This is where you bring in a secondary news-based source. Just like every Friday, you had been doing blogs based on a news source. Now connect a news source on something that's related to your text. What is it that current news has to do with whatever subject it is that your text covers? Then paragraph 4, the paragraph about America. And we've been seeing a lot about the current state of America, whether or not we were prepared for a disaster, whether or not we are able to successfully socially distance, physically distance ourselves from each other in order to reduce the spread of this. What comment is your text making about the state of America today or within the last several years? This is paragraph 4. It is crucially important that you add transitions between paragraphs to show how your paragraphs are flowing with each other into just one essay. And it's also important to make sure that before the essay, you have a title, as it says down here. Let me get to it. At the end, your original title that incorporates the text's title and author name. You should not title your essay the title of the book. Title it something else that could incorporate the title of the book, but it not be the title of the book by itself. So that is the paper. The screencast, and some of your classmates may have already uploaded a screencast. You can embed it, or you can put in the Google Drive link. Make sure that the Google Drive link is enabled so that it can be viewed. This is all due on Friday. It was initially due about a month ago, but we've extended everything so that you could have more time to do a better job, considering so many things are impacting us. I'm going to be including a poll with this to get an idea of how many of the students are planning on submitting this work on Friday. As usual, I ask that you please hit the like button so that I know how many people have seen this. And it looks like no more than 6, 4, 6. One person had a comment. Thank you, Kenya. 9. But, when I asked, does anybody want more time? All of a sudden we have 20 people that vote, but 20 people can't hit the like button so that I know, okay, I reached at least 20 people. If I'm looking on my YouTube channel, number of viewers, not that many. I'm not trying to make any money here on YouTube, but I am trying to reach as many of you as possible. And if I don't see that you liked it, or I can click on this and see, okay, these 6 people I know that I reached, and I know that they understand what's going on with our class. I need to know that you're engaged with what we're doing. And if you're not engaged for whatever reason, whether it be because you're lacking technological access, if you need a Chromebook, if you need internet access, the school can provide all that for you. Just let us know. And if you know of somebody who needs that, please let us know too, so that we can get them on track. I'm very glad we're back from spring break. I know you're all going to do well this week. I'm asking that in the poll, if you plan to submit this, you hit yes. And if you don't plan to submit this, you hit no, so that I can get an idea of how many of you are planning to do what we set out to do this year. If you have any questions, you can reach me by message or by email. Message is probably easier. I hope you're all well. I hope you stay safe, and I hope you stay healthy. Welcome back. Talk to you again soon.